Welcome back everyone to the second HTML video. And in this video, we will be looking at creating a HTML file that will link to other web pages. So before we get started, I'd like to recap on what we did on the previous video. So remember that last time we looked at our first HTML program where we talked about all of these tags displayed here, the head tag, title, body, headings, paragraphs, and how to actually open that up and how to edit the file, as you can see here. Okay. Now, before we move on to looking at how to create links to other web pages, I'd like to talk about italic and bold. So the I tag defines a part of text in an alternate tone. The content of the I tag is displayed in italics. So as you can see in this example, we are using the italic tags to change this text so that it'll display in italics. And remember how pairwise work in HTML. Only the text that are in between the starting tag of I and the end tag of I will be transformed into italic. And the same for bold. As you can see here, we've got a paragraph, and within that paragraph, we're only changing this text into bold. So here I want to highlight how we are using two different tags. We've got the paragraph, setting everything in between these two tags as a paragraph, but inside that paragraph, we are setting a word or a text in italics. So some HTML tags can be used like this, where it can contain other tags within them. So as an activity, I'd like you to pause the video here and try and create your own. Create your own sentence where bits of that paragraph is in italic. I want you to create your own sentence where bits of that paragraph will be in bold, as you can see here. Okay. So pause the video now to give that a go. Right, okay, so hopefully you were able to do that. This is an example of how to do it. Okay, all you need is again, remember we need the doc type HTML and then the HTML tags and then the body for the content. And we're using paragraphs here with the italic tag, as you can see, and the same thing with the bold there. Next, there's a tag called center. Now, notice here that it's spelled the American way when it's C-E-N-T-E-R, but the British spelling is R then E at the end. But if you were to do that in HTML, it would not work. So you need to make sure that you are spelling it this way. Okay. And what the center tag does is it center aligns text. So if I was to demonstrate this, okay, we've got a paragraph and we've got a heading. Again, if we were to open this HTML app, it will look like this. But let's say I want the heading not to be in the left, but to be in the center of my web page. So to do that, if I go back to my HTML and I surround H1, which is the heading tag, with center, like this, and then end the center tag. So here I'm saying anything between the start center tag and the end center tag should be center aligned. So if I file save as and save this document, replacing the old one, and close all of these down, when I come to open our HTML file, as you can see, the heading is now at the center. Okay, so that's what center does. It center aligns text. For your next activity, I'd like you again to pause the video here and try and recreate this output, as you can see here. Okay, so hopefully you had enough time to try and recreate this, where you've got a text in the center, then a text in the left, text in the center again, and the text in the left. And here's a solution. Okay, all we want is, as you can see here, one paragraph of text, and then the next is just a paragraph, the next is a center, the next is a paragraph. Now note here, as you can see, you can't do it my way, or the way I just did it here, where if I open this up, I have centered the headings. That is to say, I want this text to take the properties of headings, that headings 1, that is large text size, all in bold, and then I'm just simply saying here in the center, I then want to place that in the center. But what you can also do is just call or use the center tag, and no matter what text you put in place, it'll be centralized. So you do not need to have center, then paragraph. You can just use center, and it'll do the same thing as paragraphs, but obviously it will put it in the middle. Okay. Next is the horizontal rule. Now, as you can see on the slide, the top right, top left corner, we've got this no pair symbol. That means the HR tag, meaning horizontal rule, which is essentially just a line at the bottom of your web page. You could use that to illustrate, this is a separate sections in your HTML. One is for HTML, one is for CSS, or one is for a topic, and then after the horizontal rule, it's a different topic. So if I demonstrate how that works, let's say I want a center rule between the heading and the first paragraph. All I need to write in between is less than symbol HR more than symbol. If I save that and open up my HTML file, as you can see now, there's a separation between my heading and the first paragraph. Okay, so we've talked about italics, bold, center, and the horizontal rule. Now we're actually gonna be looking at the main tag for this video. The main tag for this video is called anchor, and the anchor tag in HTML is defined as an A. The anchor is often associated with an attribute. So the anchor tag does a lot of different things in HTML. One, to change its behavior, we give it certain attributes. So the anchor tag is sort of the template, but then if you wanted to reference other websites, you provide an attribute called href, or hyper reference. This attribute is used to specify the destination of the link. So as an example, we need to put those two together. We're using the anchor tag, and the attribute or the behavior of the anchor tag is going to be href, which translates to providing a link to a different website. So if I were to show you this, if I close that down and go to edit, okay, I can actually now add my anchor tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first create the anchor start tag, and immediately what you want to do is close that tag. So this is good practice. When you open a tag, you want to immediately also close it. This helps you from forgetting, this helps prevent forgetting to close such tags and then causing your HTML file to error or not work. So I created my start anchor tag and my end tag. Now I need to add the attribute or the behavior that I want this anchor tag to do, or to or the behavior that I want this anchor tag to perform. So I want it to be a link to other websites. So I'm going to use the href attribute, and to state what link or what website I want it to go to, we say equals, and then in quotation mark, the websites that you want to go on. Now, to make sure that it will go to a website, you want to type in https colon slash slash, and then the web address for the website that you want to go to. So here we're going to use the Technocamps website. So it's www.technocamps.com. And don't forget to end that quotation mark. Without these quotation marks at the start and at the end, this will not work. Without this https colon slash slash, this will not work. Now in between, so our start tag is all of this for anchor, and our end tag is there. Now if you want to add a text to be clicked on, so that when they click on the text, they go to the website, you want to write it in between the start and the end tag. So you want to write it here. So if I type in link to Technocamps, I click File, Save As. I've now updated my HTML file. So if I double click on that, as you can see, we now have this text, which is a different color and also is underlined. If you were to click on that text, it now takes you to a different website. Okay, so this is our Technocamps website, where if you go to activity packs, you can find all the resources available for you online. Okay, um, so you can play around with this. You can add more links. You can add links. You can just copy and paste that, edit this part, and you could probably link to other things such as YouTube or whatever that you need. Okay. And that's it for this video. Look out for the third HTML video, where we will be looking at creating HTML files with images on the web page.